What if I told you that a single tariff decision quietly triggered a massive rally in India's stock market, and at the same time reshaped America's trade dynamics in Asia? Because what just happened between India and the United States is far bigger than a simple percentage cut. Stay till the end, because the real story begins after the headline numbers. Let's break this down calmly, fact by fact. The tariffs that Donald Trump had imposed on India, which earlier went as high as 50%, have now officially dropped to 18%. And if you're wondering why India's stock market suddenly surged, why almost every major stock turned green overnight, this is the primary reason. The tariffs now applied to Indian exports are lower than those imposed on China, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and even several European countries. That's why headlines like these started appearing everywhere. Lower than Pakistan, lower than China, India secures a favorable tariff rate in a U.S. trade deal. This is exactly why investors reacted instantly. India Prime Minister Narendra Modi personally announced that he had spoken with Donald Trump. After a long time, he publicly used the phrase, "My dear friend President Trump." Notably, this phrase had disappeared from official communication earlier. The Prime Minister further announced that Made in India products exported to the United States will now face an 18% tariff. Earlier, these tariffs were structured very differently. 25% was imposed because India was purchasing oil from Russia. Another 25% came under reciprocal tariff measures. So moving from a combined 50% down to just 18% is objectively positive news for Indian companies and Indian exporters. Prime Minister Modi also added that Donald Trump's leadership is important for global peace, stability, and prosperity. He stated clearly that India supports these efforts for peace. This diplomatic wording matters more than it seems. Now the question is, will India eventually join Donald Trump's proposed Global Peace Board in the future? Because terms like peace and global stability were repeatedly emphasized in these statements. To understand the real advantage here, let's compare tariffs across countries. Pakistan currently faces a 19% tariff. India stands at 18%. That means an Indian exporter selling to the US can price products lower than Pakistani alternatives. The same applies when compared to Chinese and Bangladeshi exports. This creates a clear competitive advantage for India. Yes, the European Union, Japan, and South Korea face tariffs closer to 15%. But India does not directly compete with these countries in the same product categories within the US market. India's real competition in the US remains China, Vietnam, and to some extent Bangladesh. So for now, an 18% tariff places India in a very strong position across the Asian export ecosystem. The United States is India's single largest trading partner. While overall trade with the European Union is larger, India-US trade remains crucial specifically for Indian exporters. My assessment is simple. India's exports are likely to grow exponentially. This could significantly boost India's growth rate. Old friction points in India-US relations may soften considerably. If you look at Donald Trump's recent tweets, he had already hinted at a complete U-turn in his approach toward India. Now a critical question arises. What does the United States get in exchange? Trump's statements on this issue have raised questions globally. Some are even asking, is this deal actually beneficial for the US? Trump claims that India agreed to stop purchasing Russian oil. He suggests India will instead buy more oil from the United States and potentially Venezuela. He even claims this could help end the war in Ukraine. Trump further states that out of friendship and respect for Prime Minister Modi, the US agreed to reduce reciprocal tariffs from 25% to 18%. He also claims that India will reduce all tariffs and non-tariff barriers against the US to zero. Whether this is accurate or not will only be confirmed once official documents are released. Because Trump's statements and final agreements do not always align, Trump also claimed that India will purchase $500 billion worth of American goods. Realistically, this figure does not add up. India's total annual government expenditure ranges between $550 and $630 billion. That includes defense, subsidies, salaries, infrastructure, healthcare, and education. So a $500 billion purchase commitment, even spread over multiple years, does not logically fit. At this stage, we are still very early in this story. The real picture will emerge once official fine print is released by the Indian government. It is also possible that the 18% tariff does not apply uniformly across all categories. Some sectors may still face higher tariffs. One thing is clear. Trump wanted the world to see that the United States held the upper hand in this deal. But the deeper implications, especially regarding Russian oil and India's foreign policy autonomy, remain unresolved. These questions will be debated heavily by political analysts worldwide. As official updates emerge, I will break down every detail for you, step by step. I'm also bringing a detailed video on the mother of all deals between India and the European Union, where we'll analyze benefits for India and Europe and potential disadvantages for the US. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any critical updates. Thank you for watching till the end, and I really appreciate your time and support.